Welcome. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of a different approach to a tutorial, and that is part one of doing genealogy. You may be familiar with genealogy. It's your family tree, and you've probably seen displays like this. Other types of displays can be done in fan form, similar to this, and this is another one you might see if you were looking at history, and basically this would show two parents and their offspring, and then their spouses, and then onward. One of the most famous genealogies, obviously, is the Bible. You've got a lot of so-and-so begot so-and-so. And then you get some very elaborate family trees like this. Okay, so what I want to do is give you kind of a start on how to get going with it. Okay, the first thing to do is pick yourself up some forms. These types of forms can be downloaded pretty much from all over the internet if you just do a search for genealogy forms or ancestry forms or pedigree chart or something like that. This one I downloaded from ancestry.com. And basically it has a place for you to put yourself and your spouse if you have one, and then usually it's the father on the top, mother on the bottom, and then his father on the top and mother on the bottom, her father on the top and mother on the bottom, and it's just kind of a standard. You don't have to follow that if you so are not so inclined, but it's good to keep something kind of a standard so that you may get something where you have somebody named Lou married to somebody named Carol, and you don't know which one is the male and which one is the female. So if you have a standard, that helps. Another kind of chart is a family group record, and that's a little bit more in depth, and that is where once you have your chart like this, say this couple here, you'll take it over to a family group sheet and you'll find out more information about them. And this really helps because it gives you some information, it gives you some questions of where to start. Now I say questions because the most important thing you can do in starting your genealogy is to question everybody that knows the information. Parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, if you have anything like that, aunts, uncles, cousins. You'd be surprised at somebody that may know something, or there could be a family Bible somewhere that somebody knows about. And write things down that you don't think you're going to need. For example, if somebody says, oh yeah, well she was married to this guy, but they broke up, write that down, because you never know when those kinds of pieces of information are going to come in useful. Where somebody lived at a certain time, who their husband's family was, whatever that might be. You're going to write down as much information as you can find, and what I recommend is going then to a genealogy program. Now there are some that you can get. For example, you can download this personal ancestral file that's called PAF, P-A-F. Okay, so here's FamilySearch.org. This is not only a place where you can search for information, which we'll go into in another video, but this is a place where you can download the the PAF family history software, as well as some charts. Again, here's another fan chart, and you can see behind it there's a pedigree chart. So this is one option, and this is what the software looks like. And if I was going to put myself in, I would go ahead and type in my name here, Robert Griffith, and okay, I'll do okay, and then I can put in my gender, when and where I was born, etc., etc., and then I can go into my next person. Okay, now it says male. See, I went on the top, so it's expecting my father to go in here. Alright, now what's nice about having it like this is it helps you keep things organized. It helps you find holes and stuff in your data. But at the same time, you can click on the family sheet and it'll show more information in here. Pedigree, there's the individual page if you have other notes, like for example, maybe they were christened at a certain place, or baptized, or died, or they're buried in this location, or whatever. Alright, so now this is one software, and you'll see there's a lot of different options up here. I'll do more in depth on the programs in another tutorial. But you'll see that there's things here for doing a descendancy list, and I'm jumping over to my family tree here just to give you a demonstration. This is kind of a full 5-generation chart, and if I was to go to, say William Griffith here, okay, and I just right-clicked on it and do Move to Primary. If I do a Descendancy List, it'll show me all the people that descended from him. Alright? And so it really helps you put things in order. And you see, here's an example of a family sheet that has a lot of information. Alright, so my program of preference is Family Tree Maker, and that's mostly just because I've been using it for years. It doesn't mean that I think one is better than the other. It has the same kind of pedigree view here. You can jump to the family view, which is the primary way of putting in information in Family Tree Maker. Okay, so here's another example of my pedigree chart in a different program, and I'm kind of zoomed out here so I can show you more generations, but you'll get an idea of how much is in here. Now, what's nice about this program is that I can actually go and create a family book, or add, publish a book. I can go to the internet, create a family homepage. If I'm looking for something like, let's say I want to find something on John Marr, I can click the little globe next to his name and it will go out and do a search on their website. Now, Family Tree Maker is not a free program. It's a program you have to buy, and if you want the online service, that will cost extra. There's things like that, but again, it's my preference. So what I'll do is I'll look here and I'll see that, oh, there's a W. John Marr and a John W. Marr, so it could be either. And I know I've thrown a lot of information at you really quickly, but like I said, this is just a basic introduction. This page here, it's cindyslist.com. You'll see that it's CYNDISLIST.com. It is kind of the site for genealogy sites. You can go in here and look for specific things, specific locations. You may be looking poorhouses and poverty, for example, and it may have some specific ones that you can look for information. Then you get down to general resource sites, etc. Alright, there are lots of other places. RootsWeb, for example, will let you go in and do searches for people. Another way is just to use Google, and if I did in quotes like James Gregory Griffith, that's my grandfather's name, family tree. Actually, if I put it in quotes, it will only search for things with family and tree together. Take out the Gregory and I'll probably get 1,520. But basically, like I said, to get started, start off with forms and a notebook and start writing things down. If you have a tape recorder, definitely tape record some family, especially elderly family members. For example, I just put in oral history thing. I'm looking for interview questions for relatives, and it has questions like, what's your full name, why did your parents select this name for you, did you have a nickname, etc., did you have family chores, and those kinds of things are going to make your family tree so much richer. So I would definitely get started on this and ask them questions about, did you ever keep a diary, do you have any love letters, or do you have any old correspondence from your parents, or what kinds of music and songs did you like, and those kinds of things, and really just start gathering. Get some good acid-free boxes and start gathering letters, gathering family pictures, and write the names on the back of those family pictures. A lot of times, once an elderly family member is gone, those pictures that they've been keeping in that box for the last 75 or 80 years are useless because nobody knows who they are or where the picture is. So I would definitely go and do a little family research, bring along cameras, bring along tape recorders, and just get started. Okay, and then the next parts of this, I will try to do some specific, using a certain program, using a certain website, and hopefully will help you get going on this. Good luck, and thank you for listening.